When you pick up your phone and scroll, it can feel like an escape from reality. 1 minute of exploring the internet turns into an hour, and that's mostly down to the endless variety of content the internet shows us. However, that content isn't always healthy for our brains. This is Joel, a student from Stretford, Manchester, who currently feels like he is entrapped, constantly scrolling through forums, and feels like his opinion is being swayed by what he sees online. Joel wants to put an end to this, so he's going to educate himself today as we take you on his journey, one that can maybe inspire you if you've ever been tempted to fall down this rabbit hole. First, we will start by a definition of extremism. According to gov.uk, extremism is the promotion or advancement of an ideology normally based on hatred, violence and intolerance. These acts aim to create a perfect world for those who seek it by destroying what others have and disturbing the peace. While extremism has always been around, it's fascinating to Joel when he did his research on the increase of extremist acts while a lot of social media platforms like Twitter and MySpace have been around. Joel wanted to find out why this sharp increase had happened, so he continued his research and decided to get exploring. He contacted 3 people to get to interview from the world of digital and from media to get the widest form of opinion possible. The first step was interviewing psychologist Johnson Chandigarya, who could maybe help Joel understand why the brain consumes extremist content and how opinions form and change.
Can you introduce yourself, your name, your job role and what you teach?
Yeah, so my name is Johnson Chandigarya. I'm a lecturer here at UA 92. I lecture in sport, but my kind of expertise is in sport and exercise psychology.
But how do you feel social media may push more right/left-wing content towards users and how that may affect them psychologically?
Yeah, so I think human nature is wanting to be social and wanting to socialize and be part of a group. We have a yearning for or passion for to be within a group, and that pushed, I think, to either side. And then we kind of look to identify some characteristics of what we cast as similarities that we have in our personality and identity, and if that aligns with a particular group, then we're more likely to facilitate and incorporate and then adjust how we are towards the group norms within that group. I think it's just human nature to always be inquisitive and want to learn and want to develop and seek affirmation. And whether you seek the affirmation from people who look like you, who think like you, or who speak like you, then you're more likely to listen.
Ariana Grande waves goodbye to fans at the end of her concert in Manchester, England. Moments later, disaster.
Oh my God.
After Johnson's interview, Joel decided to check out the AO Arena, where the tragic bombing that left 22 dead and 59 injured happened in May 2017 at the Ariana Grande concert. The venue was attacked by Islamic extremist Salman Abedi.
It's hard to comprehend. It's a big stadium. It must have been so scary for everyone inside. These are major put-offs for me. No human should ever lose their life to or for an ideology. But if you don't think that when you're debating on social media, in my opinion, this would be a trigger for many people to scapegoat the Muslim community.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back!
A deadly attack on a synagogue in Manchester, on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar.
To explore this further, Joel looked into local acts in Manchester and was reminded of the tragic incident that happened at Heaton Park, Hull in October 2025.
This is supposed to be a place of worship and a place for the Jewish community to feel safe at home, you know? For a person to feel like they can drive their car into another man and then stab even more, it's heartbreaking and sad to see the effects that would happen when extremist thoughts are acted on.
With the world of mind being explored by Joel, he decided to go more into the world of digital and more of the how this happened. He started off with algorithm enthusiast Nicolae Grigore.
So my name is Nicolae Grigore, lecturer in the world of digital, and I mostly teach computer science modules. Algorithms are some of my strongest points, mostly because I find them particularly interesting.
How does social media push right-wing and left-wing content onto users?
All content has tags. Companies use these labels in many ways, and there are many factors involved. So it's not just the tags or labels that the user consumes, but also tags or labels that their friends, people they follow, people they subscribe to, consume. And that's kind of how the algorithm decides what to show people. As to why extremist content has become so prevalent and is being pushed so aggressively, and the answer is financial. All of these social media platforms work on one major monetization strategy, and that's ads.
What can I do to protect myself, or maybe a family or friend who's concerned about the amount of propaganda they consume?
Things that can be done is the people or the accounts that you interact with. Keep that into consideration, because the algorithms look at people that you are connected to and push content based on their preferences as well as yours. So even if you argue with someone in the comments because you're trying to express your point of view and trying to correct what you believe is their incorrect point of view, that's still engagement with that user, and that still connects you to them, which means you will be pushed similar content.
Joel found Maurice Qureshi on a forum talking about politics and invited him down for an interview. Joel felt he could relate to Muizz on a personal level, as they're the same age and have had similar social media journeys. He also hopes Muizz will be a relatable figure for the rest of the viewers too.
Can you introduce yourself, your name, and what you're going to be studying at university?
Hello Joe, my name is Muizz Qureshi. I am a student at ManMet. I do tech. I've been doing that for 2 years, but I've also been spending my whole life using phones, social media, and any other forms of media.
What kind of content do you usually consume online?
Well, I guess the usual funny videos, popular videos, whatever's trending, all stuff like that.
Do you engage in many political chats then, considering the content you say you sometimes come across?
Yeah, I guess so. So anything big happens, like a death of like a politician, or any kind of person, or any big laws being changed, you like discuss with your friends or message them on like WhatsApp or whatever, and talk about what happened and what's their thoughts on it, like discuss it.
What would you say is the most dangerous content that you would be able to consume online?
Most dangerous would be probably any form of propaganda that could like sway your opinion in a negative way. It can like paint a certain image of something going on through a certain light to make the masses think in a certain way about something.
What kind of propaganda would you say you most commonly come across online?
In this country specifically, I'd say like a lot of EDL content or propaganda. They'll make like videos of like immigrants maybe committing crimes, or like paying just to make certain groups of people look really bad.
And finally, what can others do to help protect themselves, their family, friends?
I'd say firstly you want to get your own information from like your own sources. You wouldn't want to just rely on social media for information. Go out to libraries, ask personal people who've gone through experiences, and seek your own knowledge in certain topics.
Speaking to Johnson gave me a greater understanding as to why people may fall down the rabbit hole of alt-right extremism online. And as speaking as a psychologist himself, he really understood the importance of how vulnerability can cause us as a trigger, and how speaking to other people could be a major factor in helping heal this process. Tragic events at the Ava Arena and the Manchester Synagogue were further able to highlight to me just really how tragic the consequences of potentially falling too far down one ideology can have, and the damage it could potentially cause at its worst. When he specialises in algorithms, Nicolae was able to speak to me about how and why they work, and how other creators' content can very quickly become my own content, and how blocking these accounts early on is important in preventing this. Speaking as a tech student, Muizz was able to throw out some great points, such as avoiding propaganda and engaging in active discussions with people as a way of being able to prevent yourself from further falling down the alt-right pipeline of extremism. My experience over the past week has really impacted me and enlightened me as to how potentially dangerous this content can be. And seeing how myself got stuck down this rabbit hole when I did my own research to dig myself out, I really do hope this documentary can impact others as a warning to what can happen if you feel alone and this content may be your only form of escapism and feeling of belonging.